Michigan has yet another story that has come out that is just, it's just so hard to think about what's going on in these people's heads who decide to abuse children. But there is a narrative that we have been following all year, all last year, and the year before that. And that narrative is hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. Okay? I want to make sure that I'm very clear about what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that all thugs cannot be reformed or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that there are an inherent risk. There are inherent risks whenever you decide to date a person who does not operate in the confines of the law, who does stupid things or has a record, a track history of doing stupid things that are against the law. Hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from. Especially, I didn't even notice that this fool has a tattoo in the middle of his head. Oh God, we're going to talk about that. But let me go ahead and tell you guys about this story. First and foremost, let's put some respect on these babies' names right now. What you're looking at, let me take that picture back for a moment. These babies' names are Zaire Reed and Zion Reed. Zaire Reed and Zion Reed are two twins, and they have both been injured as a result of some physical violence that has been inflicted upon them. Okay? Now, a 1-year-old boy is dead, which is one of the twins, and his twin brother is critically injured. So both of them could potentially be both of these kids could end up dead behind this. So one is dead and one is critically injured after they were beaten by their mother's boyfriend. How about that? There is a website. I don't know if you guys know about this, but there's a website called momsboyfriend.com, and I want to shout them out because that website focuses on a specific narrative. And that narrative is when mom chooses bad boyfriends. And those boyfriends end up harming the children. That's mom's boyfriend. The children cannot speak for themselves. The children cannot defend themselves against a big grown-ass ex-convict. A big old thug. A big old gangbanger. A big old drug dealer. A big old whatever it is. These babies can't do anything to defend themselves, and they don't have any say-so. That is why it is so important for mothers and parents all over to make sure and prioritize your children first before your own selfish sexual pleasures. You dig? Let's talk about this. Police were called to a home in Escorse, Michigan, which is spelled Ecorse. Escorse, whatever, I don't care how you pronounce it. Early Tuesday, where they found baby Zaire Reed unresponsive. Zion Reed, who was the other twin, was also badly injured, and he is currently in critical condition. And if you guys are familiar with that term, then y'all know that he stands a chance of not making it. But we're going to pray, and we're going to pray hard tonight and today that this baby makes it through, okay? Police say that the boy's mother, let me see if I can find a picture of the mom so y'all can see who I'm talking about. The person who I believe the mom is that lady right there in the middle. That is Lisa Marie Reed, 34 years old, and was taken into custody. And her boyfriend, the guy, that idiot on the right-hand side, is her boyfriend, James Gibson. And he had fled the home, but he was found 12 miles south of Detroit. The live-in boyfriend decided to leave and took the family vehicle and did not return, Inspector Timothy Sasick of Escorse Police said. Now, James Gibson, the boyfriend, was found after a 12-hour manhunt. How about that? This dude was so coward that he beat up twin babies and then ran because he didn't want to. He didn't want to be held responsible for the choices that he made about these babies' lives. He ran like a coward. But after a 12-hour manhunt, he was found at a residence about 25 miles away. and both are expected to be charged with crimes related to this incident. Now, I'm going to warn you guys before y'all hear some of the details that it's going to be a little bit graphic. So if you guys cannot handle that, then I understand. And I respect that if you guys have to dip out on this story. But I am going to try to give you guys as much information as we've been able to find so far, okay? So hopefully everybody understands that. The horrific child abuse has shaken local authorities, with Inspector Sasek describing it as the worst I've ever seen in 30 years of law enforcement. Most people with an injured baby take them to the hospital. Police say that the surviving child had surgery to repair broken bones and other injuries at Children's Hospital of Michigan. These are small babies. And this man hit these kids so hard that they have broken bones. Y'all catch that? Broken bones. An autopsy is pending for the deceased child, who was pronounced dead at Henry Ford Hospital in, oh God, I can't pronounce that, Wyandotte, Wyandotte. Wyandotte. I know I'm probably not pronouncing it right, so let's just skip that. And by the way, this is in Michigan, Set Zebra. This is in Michigan. Tanea said, who saw something and didn't say anything? I believe that's probably why the mom got arrested, which is that lady right there. I believe that's why she's caught up in this, and maybe she participated in some of this abuse, because there could be more charges in this case, but I'm not exactly sure, but we'll specify here in a little bit. Now, police say that for the past 3 months, the twins lived with their mother and the boyfriend Gibson at the apartment, and said that the bedding that the babies slept on for the children was bloody, and the house was an absolute mess. They were sleeping on bloody bedding. So how long was this beating and abuse actually going on? And if you guys paid attention to a video that I did a long time ago, you can always tell abuse when you look at, as you can see, the baby has black eyes. I think you could also look at the back of their neck, their ears. There are other places on a child's body that you can look and tell if there has been abuse to those children, which in this case, it was pretty easy to tell. Now, police say that Gibson was out on parole for another child abuse case in Traverse City in northern Michigan. I'm going to read that again. The police, hashtag, not my words, the police say that the boyfriend, Gibson, was out on parole for another child abuse case in Traverse City in northern Michigan. Hashtag, please do a background check. James Gibson is out on parole. So what that means is that there is a charge that was put on this man that he either agreed to or was convicted of, and he had to be released from prison. And the mother, Lisa Marie Reed, dealt with this man anyway. Matter of fact, I have a question. If those kids are his kids, because they refer to him as her boyfriend. Uh-oh. Are we about to get serious here for a moment? Y'all might want to strap yourselves in. I told y'all these stories were going to be really, really crazy. Please let me know if y'all are processing all of this in your heads. Let's talk about this for a moment. The boyfriend is out on parole. She has 2 twin babies that are very small. They refer to him as the boyfriend, and they don't mention him being the biological father. So what does that actually mean? Does anybody in the chat want to say it? I'm waiting. I'll give you guys a moment. Y'all see why I asked y'all to do a background check? I want y'all to imagine. I'm not so sure. Let me see. They don't say anywhere in this report or any video or any news station that I've seen, nobody refers to him as the biological father of these kids. So what am I saying? Look at this family photo. Look at how tiny those babies are. They don't even look like they're a year old. That means this mother's womb has barely had time to heal before she allowed a new man to come in and come in. We use that two ways. To come into her house and then to come into her physical being, her house, her body, her temple. That is some selfish, nasty shit. Also, one would also have to wonder, if he's not the biological father, then is that what prompted him to beat these kids? And I want y'all to also understand something else that you may or may not have realized. All of the tattoos that dude has on his face and on the top of his head, and he looks to be a part of a certain persuasion that may or may not be a racist. I don't know that to be a fact, but all I'm saying is that it looks a bit weird. Let me show you guys something, if you don't mind. I'm going to zoom in on a picture. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to make this really big so y'all can get the picture. Do y'all notice that this dude does not have any eyebrows and it looks like he has tattoos for eyebrows? I'm sorry, but in my opinion, if you don't have eyebrows, you should not be around kids. As a matter of fact, it makes me wonder if that was a condition of his parole. I think somebody in the chat said it earlier. Let's talk about that for a moment. If he's on parole for abusing children, which is on his record, which could have easily have been found with a fucking background check, then why is it that this mother would allow a felon, a parolee, to be around her kids knowing that he was on parole for abusing kids? Tattoo eyebrow. Matter of fact, let me show you guys another picture. A little more of a crazy picture because maybe y'all didn't see it on the screen a minute ago. Want y'all to look at this. I'm going to try to make it as big as I possibly can. It's only so big I can make this. Do y'all notice the tattoo on the top of his head? It looks like a butt cheek in the middle of his head. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Can y'all see that? I'm going to try my best to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to crop the kids out just for a moment so y'all can see this. I can't really make it much bigger than that. Why isn't he in a halfway house watching his every moment? Thank you, MMO Family Girl. I agree with you. He is a danger to society, a danger to the public, and he's just as bad as a pedophile. I don't understand how they didn't have any checks and balances in place. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that pretty clear? I don't know how clear that is. I can't really do much about it. Can y'all see it now? It looks like a set of testicles tattooed on the top of his head. I don't know if this man was somebody's girlfriend in jail or not, but it doesn't matter to me. He shouldn't have been around kids. Let's move on with this story. Gibson was out on parole for another child abuse case. Mom. He was released on May the 8th. May the 8th. Can somebody please take a mental note of that? The boy's grandmother, who y'all saw in the picture, her name is Susan Williams Bowell, B-A-W-O-L. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. But she started a donation page to raise funds for Zaire's funeral, which is really sad that she has to do that. His life was taken at the hands of a monster, which is what Grandma said. And I think, matter of fact, I don't know if y'all can see it. I'll tell y'all more, but that's Grandma right there. I don't even know what to say here. I am just so lost and hurt. The boy's uncle by the name of Ricky Tanner told the news he was expected to live, but was struggling. Gibson and Reed were expected to be arraigned Wednesday on a first-degree child abuse and first-degree murder charges. And I'm going to show you guys that picture of the baby with the black eye. And hopefully y'all don't mind. I'm going to show y'all this. If y'all didn't see it before, let me know if you guys can see. Especially the baby on the left. Notice the black eyes on this kid. Especially the one on the left. Let me go ahead and take this picture down. But here's what I want to ask. I want to ask a question. It seems like these twin babies were loved more by the grandmother than this kid's own mother. And I don't even know where the biological father is. Maybe he is the biological father, but I doubt it if he just got out in May. And these kids look like they're about 1 year old, but I don't know. But nonetheless, it seems like these kids would have been taken care of much better if they would have been in grandma's custody. But guess what? That's not grandma's job. Grandma's job is a supporting job. That should not have been her main job, to care for these kids. The responsibility of those kids is supposed to fall on mom and dad. Then grandma and grandpa and other family members are supposed to be able to come in and help when they are able to and when they want to. All right. But nonetheless, let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage and let you guys listen to the news stories. See if I can find the fair use. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And again, as a reminder, if you guys are watching, please click that thumbs up. We have a goal of 350 thumbs up. So if you guys will please click that thumbs up, that would help us out a lot. Thank you. Let's go ahead and go.
Twins. An Ecorse mother and her boyfriend are behind bars after the brutal beating of a pair of one-year-old twins.
One of the boys has died and the other is in the hospital with serious injuries. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch is live with more. Robin?
Good morning, Amy and Jay. Now, one of the investigators who is involved in this case describes it as the worst case of child abuse that he has ever seen, and he has been in the business for more than 3 decades, so he has certainly seen a lot. This mother, as well as her boyfriend, they could face child abuse charges a little bit later on today after, as you mentioned, her twins were severely beaten, one of them so badly he died from his injuries. Now, police were called to the Renaissance Estates in Ecorse right around 4 o'clock yesterday morning. That is where they learned about the situation, and that is where they found the twins. Zaire passed away from multiple injuries to his tiny body yesterday. Again, he was just 1 year old. His brother Zion has since had emergency surgery to repair a broken femur and other broken bones at Children's Hospital, and that is where he remains this morning. Now, police took his mother into into custody, or their mother into custody, relatively quickly, her boyfriend was found hiding out at an uncle's house hours later. Now, we caught up with the twins' uncle. Take a listen to what he has to say about this heartbreaking situation.
To realize what had happened in that home to those boys, it angered me and also brought me to a level that I never thought I would understand. I want him to know what he did to this family. I want him to know the suffering.
Now, the couple is expected to be arraigned on multiple charges, including child abuse as well as murder charges. And again, that could come as soon as today. We're waiting to get official word from the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. Now, police are also telling us that the boyfriend was recently released on parole for child abuse. We are live at eCourse this morning. Robin Murdoch, Fox 2 News.
All right, and just as a correction, I had a picture up here that didn't actually go with that story. Let me show this picture, as I kept wondering which picture it was that I showed that was incorrect. Let me remind you guys that I want to say thank you real quick to SJ's Beam in the chat, who was correct. This particular picture is Leela and Camden Leela went missing in Florida. So this is not the correct photo, but it was on that site. I don't know why, but that was the wrong photo, but the rest of the photos were correct. So I did want to correct that while we were live. Okay, so thank you for that. So this mother had all these kids, lost custody of her two oldest kids, and she's like, you know what, screw those kids, I'll just make some more. And not only did she make some more, she did not stay with the man who she made those babies right there by. And this dude gets to get out of jail and play daddy to these kids, when I can guarantee you that this mom probably didn't even let the biological father see those kids like he wanted to. It is sad that everybody else can have access to these kids except the biological father, because the mother has this right that they call she's the parent, and she can do what her kids, her choice, and she can do whatever it is that she want to do. Which is absolutely insane, it's ridiculous, and it's irresponsible. Hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from. Let me add these pictures back on there. There we go. Now, another part, again, to announce and remind you guys why I say TTO and TTT. Take the testicles and take the ovaries, and they need to take theirs. They do not deserve to have them. They should not be parents. They should not be allowed to procreate. They need to be castrated and sterilized. Thank you. Why continue to allow the children in this world, in our country, in our states, and some of us in our neighborhoods and cities? Why allow these children to continue to be abused when we can stop this shit? If we're going to have a license to drive, if we're going to have a license to do business and grow food and all of this other stuff, why can't you have a license to have a kid? I mean, it seems like that's kind of an important thing in life to do, right? You should be able to be allowed to do that type of thing responsibly, right? I think that you should have to qualify to be a parent. That shouldn't be just something you could just do just because you like sex, and just because this horrible mother felt like she needed some from a thug in jail who abused babies before, and now he came home and abused these kids because they didn't want him to catch coronavirus. What would we do if this prisoner caught coronavirus? We need to let him out so he could go kill a kid. I'm sure that made sense to the people that let that man out of jail. How much damn sense does that make? You don't want him to catch COVID, but you don't care that he's around kids when he was just in jail over abusing kids. But you know what? In this little town, what's the name of this little town? Escorze, Michigan, Apparently, it's okay to let people out of jail and let them wreak havoc on the world just because you're scared of them getting coronavirus. Apparently, it's okay to let your kids around a damn murderer and an abuser. What are we doing, man? What are we doing in our society? Why did these kids deserve that? And it's not like they didn't have warning signs. It's not like they didn't know. Everybody around these kids knew, and they just simply did not care. I hate saying that, but I really wish that if somebody saw something and said something, like the people saw the picture on Facebook and they reported it and nothing else was done. These kids died for no, I said kids. One of these kids died for no reason, and the other one is in critical condition. All we can do is hope and pray that that baby makes it. But that baby was severely abused, and I don't want to repeat the things that they said were done to these kids. Their bodies suffered, and they didn't deserve it. And it's sad that their own damn mama didn't give a shit. She's proven that she's a terrible parent to her older two kids, and she just got to just willy-nilly make some more. We got to start being tougher on people who abuse children and the people that present a danger to our children. We have to start taking it seriously. And in Escorze, Michigan, they did not take this criminal that has abused children seriously at all. Now, I hope you make an example out of his ass, and I hope that he never gets out of prison ever again. And I hope that you throw a book at him and some in this life and in his next life. I hope he gets another sentence for the same damn thing that he did. To Grandma, I know Grandma probably loved them kids. I know she did. But there's no way that Grandma was able to take the picture with these kids and we all noticed the black eyes and Grandma didn't notice nothing. There's no way. I just don't believe that. And I believe that if she saw something and didn't say anything, then these kids had to suffer. They didn't have an advocate. I'm honored that we as the AFC are in a position to be able to be advocates for children first and give these babies a voice. That's why we're so harsh. That's why we speak so directly. And I don't like the fact that people act like they don't get where we're coming from. I don't like that. We stand for the children first. Thank you, Kingdom Minded. Kingdom Minded said it's pronounced E-Course. So E-Course, Michigan failed these kids. And it's not right. And those babies are beautiful babies, and they deserved a fair chance. And then y'all can see in these babies' faces, they did not stand a chance around a thug. To the baby, to the twin that passed away, young King, may you rest in peace. To the other baby, guys, put a prayer hands up in the chat and in the comment section. And let's pray that that baby survives and this baby thrives and this baby gets a suitable parent so that baby can grow up and become something great, okay? Thank you guys so much for listening to this story. I'm your boy DJ Just J. We're the AFC, where we advocate for children first. This is not a me thing. This is a we thing. This is an us thing. We're a family thing. And let's continue to advocate for these babies, okay? Don't get mad at what I say. Get mad at what they do. All right? From my heart to yours, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to this stream. And that'll wrap us up, and we'll see y'all. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that thumbs up. Share the memory of these babies. Let's stop this together, okay? Peace.